Hey guys, it's Matt Dillon here. Welcome back to the Fashionably Late pod. As you know by now, we're not just talking about running and turning up to a party late. We're talking that kind of significant universal push when you don't expect it. And today's guest, I've followed really closely. Shawn French, I want to welcome you to Fashionably Late.
Appreciate you, buddy.
I also want to say that you were very on time, not late at all.
Dude.
And fashionably together.
Okay,
Can I see those boots?
Yeah, man.
Put them up.
Here you go.
Come on, where's it?
Little
There you
Cole
go.
Hans.
Cole Han.
Yeah, look at
Cole
that.
Han, give him
I
a
know.
call.
Yeah, come on.
Let's go.
Yeah, come
All
on,
right, let's
seriously.
get back
Come
to
on,
this
Cole.
shit. So, I want to kind of break today's discussion down into the concept of influence, failures, and fear. So, want to kind of let's start with fear, and let's talk about the many inceptions that you've been through. Now, I see you as a little different because some people change directions in life through being forced to, through being shit at what they're doing and like having to wake up and be like, damn, you excelled in sport, you excelled in sales, you are what I would like to give you your flowers right now, I think on the prefaces of a big explosion with the Determined Society, which is your podcast, and bigger so your brand. So, you know, we can dig a little deeper into each individually, but let's look at the concept of fear between all of that and the evolution as you went from sports to sales to where we find you now. Is there a point that you can remember being shit scared and being like, should I do this? Should I leave comfortability behind? Take it away.
What day is it?
Sorry to
What day is it?
Exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Daily. No, I think the turning point, you know, there's been a couple different times when I left. I mean, first of all, when I stopped playing baseball, I was scared shitless.
I mean, that was your
I didn't know who I
blood.
was, dude. I didn't know who I
Correct.
was. I was Shawn French, the baseball player. I was the catcher. You know, like you played it. Oh, you're an LSU baseball player.
You were scholarship.
Okay,
you were the
like,
best
cool.
of the best.
Like, but now what, right? And then you go into the mortgage business, and then you lose everything in the meltdown. And then I was scared shitless, and I moved to Florida, and I didn't have a job. I was scared every day. Didn't have a car.
Doesn't everybody do that?
Holy
Let's go to Florida, bitch.
Gatorland. Hey, Florida's easy. Let's go there.
Yeah.
But you know, so then then I got into teaching and then coaching baseball. And when I had my first child, you know, he's now 11. I go, I don't have enough money to support this child the way I want to. So I went into sales. Was I fearful? Hell yes, I was. Yeah. I remember walking into the first building. Hi, I'm Shawn French. Just want to know who handles your payroll here. Get out of here, man. Like, it's terrible. Yeah. So there was fear there, and to a point where I did say, like, I should probably go back to coaching. And then going to medical during COVID and not being allowed in the OR because everything was locked down and having to learn technical aspects of anatomy and what different cases were. And then, you know, leaving corporate America. That one scared the shit out of me.
Let's really dig it. Let's go there.
Yeah. I mean, I left corporate America because I became unemployable. I did not want to listen to anybody. I didn't want anybody to tell me what to do.
Sounds a little bit like yours truly.
I mean, come on, man. We're all cut from the same cloth here, right? So I left, but you know, I left behind benefits. I left behind a steady paycheck, and you know, I was blessed because one of my old accountants of mine that I worked with, we started a payroll company.
There you go.
So it was an easier transition. So I had a little bit. But that dried up after 7 months.
I was going to say that's a little. It's just wiggle room.
It was wiggle room.
It's not for you.
It was like more than I would say I was losing more than half of my income.
Yeah, so you were making a bold move,
like bold ass move, and
Correct.
Wife's looking at me like, "Bruh, like I trust you, but like let's go, right?" Because you worry about bills, you worry about the kids, you worry about all these different things that we like to go do as a family and give our kids experiences. We don't buy them for flashy shit, but we like to take them places. So for a while there, that was bye-bye. So there was a lot of fear in that because yes, I came to work for the payroll company, like we started the company, but my passion was this. And so I've done a pretty good job of siloing things off, but I've gone hard on my brand, and there's a massive fear to that because you think like, what if the world doesn't receive me?
Mm-hmm.
What if I'm not good looking enough? What if I'm not, in the best shape? What if I look funny? What if I say something stupid? What if this doesn't work?
How many times have you said each of those individually?
Oh, I mean, probably daily, man.
Even still to this day?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
You don't know by now that you're good enough? That
I mean,
as you are, I feel like...
No, I mean, like, yes, I'm good enough, but like there's always those points where
fuck yeah.
Is this going to fucking work? Am I really that guy?
Because you level up. So every time you hit A point, then you're like, all right, we're going up again.
Yeah, and it's like I just got acclimated to this altitude. Fuck, now I'm here.
Correct.
Like, so there's always that pull of like, hey, dude, dial in, get better. So there's always that fear. Like, am I gonna get to where I want to get? And if I don't, what do I do?
Is fear a negative connotation when you hear it in your
For
mind?
me, no.
Okay.
For me, no. Like, I bring that bitch on.
That's how I feel.
Scare the fuck out of me. Because when I'm backed into a corner, that's when I perform. When I'm comfortable, it's like status quo. Like, okay, cool. No. I've got this weird thing. I don't know if it's my limbic system. Like, it's all fucked up. Like, I need to feel some scaredness to my life, right? Yeah. I need to know what I'm doing is risky because I know that if it works, then there's a bigger payoff, right?
I completely concur with that. I feel like for me, and before we started filming, I don't think people remember that I'm a publicist by trade.
I didn't.
So
I didn't even
whole
know.
Juxtaposition between taking a chance on me and using 20 years of looking at people and putting them there and being like, well, no, I think I should put myself there and take a chance on myself. And I think that's what resonated when I started to become aware of you and watching your shows, that you have an innate influence that you're not yet at that capacity. Mm-hmm. So that term influence doesn't have to be like influential or influencing. You innately have influence that through experience that it's led you to use that vulnerability. And really, as a straight masculine man of 3 kids, wife, that's very rare in certain things. People put on a show sometimes. So I really do think I had a bet that I was like, fear would be not a negative connotation for you. Because for me, it's like fear propels, when you're ready for it, you to go to another level. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about then taking that concept of fear and using it and harnessing it in the right way. Mm-hmm. That you are on this kind of, you're in it right now. You're in the sticks and the dirt of it all. What the concept of influence means to you, and not only the people you've spoken to, Jay Leno, like major names that have great, powerful influence, but also entrepreneurs, actors, what have you. Is there something intrinsically about them that makes them who they are? Because I think you possess a lot of the qualities that your guests have, and vice versa.
Shit, man.
Because you show up.
Wow.
You show up. There's a thing just by showing up, you have influence. Because a lot of people say, I'll do, and talk a lot of gas out of their mouth and don't do. So I want to talk about that concept of influence and what that means to you, A, from what you perhaps learned from your guests, but B, what that feels like because you have influence and you have an audience now that you are influencing through storytelling.
Yeah, good job. God dang, dude. My guests, they're really fucking good at their job.
Incredible.
Like, they're incredible, the best of the best, whether it's an author or an actor, an actress, like Jay Leno, for crying out loud.
One of the best interviews I've seen of him.
No way.
Really, you have an innate quality to make things personable and not do it in a way where you need to overperform to do it. Because that's how I approach this podcast. I'm just sit here, I'll drop a word, I'll drop a thing, and then it's all about you. You gave depth and understanding for him to talk. And he's probably spoken about his ass a bajillion times, yet it felt fresh.
Yeah.
Jamie Kennedy, another one.
I love that guy.
I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with him from Scream 2 days. Like, brilliant, I think, underrated actor.
Very.
So it's like the dichotomy between the greats and then those, in my opinion, Jamie Kennedy's a great, but he's not of the level that he should be.
Right.
You approach it in a really same way. And I feel like that in itself is a powerful method of influence that you're doing.
Yeah.
And comfortability for somebody to feel like, oh, I'm going to tell you every dark secret that I have.
Yeah, man.
So talk about that and what that feels like for you, because you are building it and you are getting bigger names.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any fear in the responsibility of being influential?
No, because I feel like if you always stay to the core of your being, right, who you truly are, like if you do not compromise who you are as a person and as a soul, then what's the fear? Like I don't have any fear with that. I mean, I think that with these guests and their amount of influence, because it was built on a big screen, people forget that they're fucking people, man.
We're all human beings.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I think maybe why your compliment on and first of all, that interview was fucking really hard. That was one of my.
I'll be honest,
like,
I'm not ready for that level yet.
Dude, I don't know that I was.
Fall over,
I just
bro.
fucking.
I hope that's
shit.
on camera because
Dude,
I got no.
Can I get a?
No, you can't get shit.
Can I get an outtake, or can we put that on there?
I was like, there he goes.
Like workers' comp, but like, so it's like that was a very hard one. There was a lot of fear in that trip. I mean, I was in the room with Jamie Kennedy and Jay Leno on that same trip. You want to talk about anxiety?
Wow.
Like that was hard for me, but the influential part of how I guess my platform influences people or moves them to do something.
I like that. Maybe that's a better approach.
Yeah, I like that. Moves them and propels them a little bit. I don't have any fear of that. I welcome it. I want that. I want to take part of helping people. But I mean, dude, these actresses and actors and the Jay Lenos of the world, they built their influence because of what people saw them do.
Correct.
But again, I want to go back to it. There's a person involved. Like there's an absolute human fucking being,
a brother, a sister, a father,
a husband, like a friend, like everything, like to the point where you watch he's used the same fork for 40 years. Yeah, you're Jay Leno. Yeah, you wash the same fork after you know that every fucking time.
Sure.
So it was kind of cool to get that stuff out of it, and if influence or moving people through, and I do think me getting bigger guests now is woke people up a little bit, and like, all right, now, like, okay, I'm tired of fighting it. Like I have to listen to him now. Yeah. Like I have to watch his show. And there's been like people that I've known for years. It's like, dude, I'm starting to listen to your show. I'm like, thanks, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Cocksucker. Just now? But like, listen, man, people are going to cheer for you silently.
Delayed glorification.
Yeah, they're going to cheer for you silently until they know it's okay to cheer out loud.
Do we really need to worry about being cheered for though? Nah, I'm like, people can't get rid of my ass. They try.
Hey,
trust me. I'm showed up and I'm here.
He's here.
You can never get rid of me. That's literally what they say.
Because that's your choice. It's your choice.
But I don't do it for them.
No.
And you don't do it for that gratification. You do it, I think, because it makes you happy. Mm-hmm. But also because I think you're starting to see that connection come more visible.
Yeah. And I do think there's an element of like, how am I doing, right? Because in corporate America, you have performance reviews.
Oh, of course.
Like, I don't have performance reviews anymore. I can only go off of what are people telling me, right? And when people tell me like, "Hey, I just listened to this episode. It was amazing." I'm like, "What did you like about it?" Because it may not have been
you're like,
an episode.
You're lying, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was like, "You fucker." Like because like it may be an episode that I didn't particularly think came out well.
There you go.
That happens. Like you told me the Jay Leno episode was a great show. Like
I don't know the background of the prep for that, but I know that you probably. But for me, as Matt Dillon, watching that, it's aspirational to me because that's the level that I would like to move towards and do. But B, I was like, it just felt conversational. And that sounds a little naff, but conversational is not the easiest thing to do.
No. Because you're talking about a guy who's done it for how many decades?
But he invented that shit.
He invented conversation. Like, fuck.
Him, Howard Stern, these fuckers invented the art of conversation.
Yeah. And to sit there and dude, I got warned before, like, hey, just be careful, he might come at you a little bit, right? Because he can be hard on people. I was like, I said to the guy afterwards, I said, I didn't, like, what are you talking about? He's like, he did it once. I'm like, oh, that one thing? And he's like, yeah. I was like, no, it wasn't nuts. He's like, because you're fucking good.
There you go.
And I was like, thank you. But for me, it's just, when you told me that, like, that was such a hard interview for me. Because the guy's a freaking icon.
Correct.
Right? And I'm sitting there in that chair and I'm like, am I fucking this up? Like, is this good? So to hear that people actually enjoyed that interview makes me feel good. So I do like the feedback. I don't do it for the feedback, but I love it when it comes.
That's an interesting point, I think, in generalizing life. the concept of feedback and how you apply that to become greater and to become better at your thing. Do you take on still, because I look at things and I'm like, people's opinions are not feedback. Feedback is when there's a conversation happening between, hey, this was good, that could be better, this could be better. I think a lot of people get bogged down, and I want to see if this is happening to you right now, given that the arc of your, and I want to call it a community that you're building, the Determined Society community that you're building, because I, you know, in my research and listening to other pods, this kind of framework from a Facebook group and concepts that went like this. Is your wife like your best kind of soundboard? Let's talk about that, because I feel like,
wife?
yeah. Or do you keep her at lock her out of the door? Because I feel like that juxtaposition between the love that you have, that she would be the perfect sounding board.
She is. She's honest with me. Like,
that sucked ass, honey. No sex tonight, bitch.
No, say,
you don't
hey, listen, you fucker. I'm not feeling
sad.
you tonight.
No.
No, dude. She's involved in the company. You know, she pulls double time between her teaching job and you know, she's fully entrenched on breaks and summers, and eventually we're gonna hopefully be able to pull her over.
Yeah.
I need her in this business in order for it to get to.
What's her name?
Jacqueline.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear it, babe?
Come on, baby.
Yeah. Come on, girl.
I need
Wait,
you.
Waiting on you here.
This is very theatrical, but
it
continue.
is. But no,
Yeah.
like for her, like I'm able to come to her with the most raw, the most articulate, whatever it is. Like I am struggling. Like this thing happened today, and I am fucking pissed, and I need you. I don't want your advice yet. I just want you to listen, you know, and then we have this dialogue. Without her, dude, like it wouldn't be where it's at, because let's be honest. How many wives are going to sit there and say, it's okay, cool, man, leave a $250,000 a year job and the best benefits ever.
Not many.
And go chase your dream. Peter Pan. You know, it's like I just thought of Wedding Crashers.
No, I mean, so that's why
Peter Pan, Count Chocula.
I laugh.
But it's like,
shit,
dude, she's the fucking foundation, man.
I feel like she saw your passion project and its capability before maybe you even did. Like you saw it, but like to execute, if you didn't have her there, I don't think you'd be doing this.
No, I wouldn't be.
Oh, you'd be divorced.
Yeah, probably.
I've got a divorce coach on file, so if you ever, it's not happening.
No, but you know the cool thing is like we're two completely different people. So
well, that's how I'd hope so.
I'm a visionary. She's a realist. She calls it. She goes, "You're a dreamer." Sometimes
she's like, "Come back down here, bitch."
She does, but there's sometimes where I'll listen. Sometimes they're like, "No, you better fucking strap on your fanny pack because we're going." Like I'm not slowing down on this. Like there's no. I'm not looking for feedback on it. This is what I'm doing.
Yes.
But there's also times where she says, "No, you're not working with that person, or you're not doing this because Shawn, trust me, I've never been wrong." I'm like, "Okay, you're right." So she's there. Like,
I like to get into the background of that, because I think it's important to look at success doesn't happen overnight. So as we're sitting here today, you're number 2 on the Spotify trending charts in the US. But that's why I asked the question about your wife, because I don't think you'd be number 2. I mean, you've got a great lineup of guests. Sure. Wonderful. That you have all the chess pieces, but I think what's behind you is what makes you great.
Support from my best friend.
Yeah,
man.
it's pretty incredible to be able to say that. And I think when she steps in full time into this gig, you're going to go a whole nother
super
round.
Genius.
Yeah, I think it's smart, and I think it keeps it in the family.
Yeah,
it's like the mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we building a mafia?
I mean, South Florida mafia. I do actually. Well, I do know some OGs of that, actually.
Ooh.
Yes. But we'll talk about that off camera. I don't want any liabilities.
Exactly.
Okay, so that being said, I can feel like the momentum of what you've done, and I want to talk about kind of any moment that comes to your mind where the fear almost disabled you. At any point that you can think of where, because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, there might not be that many where it almost disabled you, but I feel like there must be one time where it was like, I should go back and I should sell fucking medical equipment. I should do this because it's comfortable. But that's the Fashionably late moment where it went, no, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. Is there any point where you were like, let me stop this?
Yeah, dude. I don't know if it was stop this, but it was let me go back to corporate America.
Okay.
And let me make some money and record on the weekend so I can support my family better.
Okay, so you're very much a success. Failure really is not an option in anything. No. You're just looking at it, let me reverse back just a little bit.
How can I pivot?
What's that word?
I know. Or busting David's balls. Busting David's balls. No, I mean, so like it was this past December.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were on the precipice, dude, of like being royally fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And like financially.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we were making our house payments, but like we were paying all our bills. We were fine, but it wasn't comfortable, man. It was stressful.
Of course.
Right. So I was like, okay, well, let me go back to paychecks and be a leader. Went through all the final interviews and they go, hey, you know what? You're a better leader, but we're going to choose this person because they have experience in health and benefits, and we're going to promote them first. You're a better leader, but they understand product knowledge. We'll come back to you in March.
Wow.
Still haven't heard from them. And that's okay. And that's
because they Googled your ass, bitch. And they're like, fucking, you don't need a job.
Like, this freaking guy. But so in December, like we were, really struggling. And, I was more than entertaining going back to work and not having any bad feelings about it at all. I'm like, all right, it is what it is, man. Talk to my production team. Hey, can we record on weekends? They're like, Shawn, anything you need. I'm like, all right, bet. Thank you. And then you talk about a universal push at the beginning of your show, at the beginning of the episode. The universe and God was like, nope, not happening.
There it is.
Not happening. So I'm like, okay, what now? Well, we learned how to monetize the show. And then, I started having investors come in, and then all that stuff happened. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
But this is years in. This is you've backed your shit yourself. You've had the, if people just Google him, you've had many iterations of what your show actually even looks like.
Yeah.
So we don't need to like dig into that. But I think what the universal concept of it, but I think what's important to note is that you bet on yourself, and the word failure and fear is not really a negative connotation for you, that it is all how you prospectively look at something. Because a lot of people can have moments where they're like, oh, I need to be comfortable. Listen, right now, I moved out of a $5,000 a month apartment and I downsized. And people think that I'm balling right now. You inspire me to actually, I'm not going to go tell you where I'm living because I don't want to fucking stalkers there. But I downsized because I believe in what I'm doing, and any extra money that I have, I'm putting into this and my fashion stuff that I do. So I do believe that, like, there is moments where you're like, fuck, this is just too hard. But in like-minded you and I, it's not, nothing will ever be that hard.
No, we just figure it out.
Because there has to be ways to do it. Because how did he do it? And how did he do it? Or how did she do it? So I wanted to kind of really look at that with you and be like, how would you like put it in a bottle, that mindset? Because a lot of people would look at you and be like, oh, he's had overnight success with this. Like your name's popping up now on Google Alerts. But this is not 220, 215 episodes. This is years of shit that's gone down, dynamic with your wife, dynamic with your children, trying to find that shitty word balance, which I don't believe in.
There's no such thing.
Thank you. Again, brotherhood here, motherfucker. I really want to look at that and see how would you like explain that to somebody? Because, you're a coach. I think when I look at you now, it's like you've built this community of thing where it's like okay to fail and it's okay to show up and strap those fucking shoes back on and do it again. Yeah. What would be a piece of advice for my audience that are, they're young creatives? I have a lot of young creatives that follow me. And we all, being a creative is not easy. And you don't make a lot of money in the first 5 years.
I mean, we're coming up on 5 years in February. I mean, the advice to the creators, out there, like, it is a hard business because you're constantly comparing yourself to other people on the platform, looking at your content. Why does mine not getting the reach that this person's getting? Correct. And you don't know what this person's doing behind the scenes to get that reach. So there's your first lesson. So really the main thing that's very important, right? The main thing that we can look at with new creators is like, what is your purpose? What are you doing it for? Do you truly love it?
Or do you just want fame?
Or do you just want fame? Because those those MOs or those, agendas will tell you everything.
Correct.
Are you going to stick with it when you're taking all your household income and pumping it into your thing? Like hundreds of thousands of dollars went into the show from mine and my wife's pocket before anybody gave a dime.
Yeah.
And took from the frickin' family in order to make it. Are you willing to do that? Because if you're willing to do that, you're going to succeed. Like straight up.
Big questions, guys. But sorry to continue. Because
No,
it's
I mean,
it's I downsized where I was living to really pivot this. At 40,
so you can grow further.
42 years old, I was like, you have probably 5 years left before I hit 5-6 years where I'm like, and it's people's perceptions of things. Mm-hmm. A lot of people in New York are like, oh, he's made it, and I'm like, if you only fucking knew.
Yeah.
That I'm still pushing and grinding and what. So let's talk about the reality now. Mm-hmm. How much harder and how much more effort are you putting in now than you were back then? Given that you're on this thing, not like the blood, sweat, and tears kind, but more acutely mental now, because you got something.
Oh, it's exponentially larger now. Like,
yes, but it's
from the mental acuity standpoint.
Yeah,
the grind was much more intense back then because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Okay,
I was like record.
Consistency,
like all the
show
time.
Up.
Yeah, show up, be consistent.
Something will fucking blow up.
Something will eventually.
And that's how I felt.
I'll step in shit sooner or later.
Exactly.
Like, fuck, man, can I get some dog shit on my shoe, please? Like, what the fuck's going on?
Yep.
But like now the effort is much different. It's much more business oriented.
There you go.
So this turned into something that, was a side hustle, hobby, to me thinking it was a business, and businesses make money. So that sure as shit wasn't what it was. Right. Yep. To now it's like my conversations are, how do we get better on the back end? What's our SEO like? Like, and we're going through testing that out. Right now we have a call later today on my way home across the alley. I'll be on a call, looking at our findings. We have to get better. Mm-hmm. Like, we have to drive people to the site. How many keywords? Are the keywords going from my podcast to my Instagram to my website? Do they know where to find me? Does Google recognize me? Those are the things that I deal with every day.
Which are much bigger than just showing up and what have you. So I think you've got I think what people don't understand when they see a 45-minute edited episode, mm-hmm. How did they find that visual, or how did they pop into that there are so many intricate details that come to making even an episode be released. So not even a success to be released.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of proofing, right? I don't like that intro. Remove this B-roll at stock. Put the real shit in.
I love he says that. Mine's like, I look terrible on that angle, bitch. So fucking edit that. That's not my angle. Don't worry about the fucking guest. Just me.
Fuck that guy.
Sorry, Shawn, bitch.
I mean, but it's real, right?
Yeah.
But that's your brand, and anybody who's working with you has to understand that you want a certain perception of you out, right?
I think most people think of me. They're like, okay, this guy will rock up in this, and I did a podcast with David Carley, who you were on his podcast mm-hmm. also, talking about, and I want to segue into this, that I truly believe that your first point of call in meeting anybody is what you look like. Mm-hmm. Before you open your mouth, if I don't know you, I'm going to look at you and be like, all right, I'm not saying you have to be fucking suited and booted and all of that, but how you present yourself to the world is your first. There's no business cards anymore. I don't need a mm-hmm. fucking QR code. I'm good. Mm-hmm. If you look like a bum, then you didn't brush your hair, then you hopped out of bed and rolled. That shows a bit of mental acumen that I'm not vibing with. There's sometimes I'm like, I believe that image is important. Speak on that. I mean, you put great shoes on today. I'm sure you look like a bum sometimes. I never.
Yeah.
Wait, let me
like
look.
when I'm walking the dogs.
Can I get
and shit?
this? Oh, bitch. Never.
I'm
lying.
When I walk the dogs, I'm looking pretty rough in the morning, but it's usually after the gym or something. But I think it is important.
Let's talk about it as a business thing, not walking.
Yeah.
Let's
so
go there.
If you look back into February, I was wearing hats on my show.
Correct.
I thought it was fine. I'm a baseball player. Who gives a shit?
I don't think it's not okay.
Right, but I would wear like a supplement shirt or like shorts, and I would show up to shows and I would be wearing a hat. But the moment I was instructed to shift, hey, like, dude, comb your hair, ditch the fucking hat. I can't build this. Ditch the hat. You know, dress it up a little bit. Be you, but dress it up a little bit.
Yeah, never not be you, but I'm like, be you in a way where it's elevated.
Yes. And so like all these different clothing options were always in my arsenal. Yeah. But I was like, nah, man, I'm just some dude. I'm just going to wear a hat and I'm going to go.
That's what makes you familial to people, that you are that some dude. Yeah. But I do believe, and I think, you know, one of the notes of Fashionably Late is that fashion is an interpretation of what you are. You're wearing fashion, whether you think it or not. What starts in a Vogue page does lead down to the color of the boot, the color of the pant, all of that. So you are making an educated decision, even if you don't realize it. Yeah. Just by taking your hat off.
Right.
And it also opens your face up too. Did anyone ever tell you that, bitch? Come on.
No, I mean, like...
I want to see the person.
Yeah.
I want to look into their eyes.
Yes, so yes. I was like, I can't see your face.
That's the publicist in me now.
Well, my publicist said that. Yeah,
she's
like,
you go.
Take your fucking
hat
off.
Come on, Boca. Let's go, bitch.
Val, he says I dress well, so, I mean, I don't know. But I mean, like, dude, like, that's the thing. The moment that started happening, you know, different placements come. Do you think Fox and, you know, US Weekly would ask me for a quote if I was wearing my hat and looking
Definitely
like a
not.
No. So do I think
Val's good, but you know.
Yeah, Val's great. Val's great.
Yeah. You got to look at like, you also got to realize that the decision makers, and this is something that I've learned. So we're in the business of podcasting, creating a community, what have you. All right. But if nobody's listening on the other end, then that doesn't help. Okay. But if they start to listen, that opens you up into a media landscape where you can be like, oh, we're talking, something happened over here. I have a quote from a guest that fits that right. Those people making those decisions now are 19, 20-year-old young ingenues right out of college. So the people that can put you in Page Six, Us Weekly, name it, all of it, are young and impressionable. So you're not ugly. So your best punch can put your best foot forward.
Yes.
And that's how I always approach things in life, being like, just to do this for glorification is no use to me.
Since it's
I'm not doing it. I'd rather be in bed trying to like work on stocks and fucking make money somehow. Yeah. So I'm really looking at, and I think people should start to head over to the Determined Society, go through the back catalog first.
Oh my God. Yeah, please do.
Go through the back catalog, help the guy get some views because he fucking gets none. But also, I think it's exciting to look when you can see somebody making that corner turn, or the pivot, as you like to say, but the pivot in another level. Because these are the moments where then, you know, I think this is where your coaching and what you've done really takes that back end, and like you're polishing up all your nuts and bolts right now. Yeah. Because you know what you're doing now.
Yep. Yeah.
You bring an ingenue to each interview and it's a little different. So tell me what that feels like to kind of looking forward now. And we can talk about the next year. Let's talk about it from a year thing, because I think going ahead, this world is... You can't really predict shit these days. So I think a year, though, like, what's your grid look like to be like, who are some key guests that you would like? Where would you like to be personally as a storyteller? Because whether you believe it or not, you're a storyteller now, which means you could be a journalist, you could be this, you could be that. You're somebody that can comment on global situations.
Yeah, and that's happening right now. So like stepping into that is a little different for me. Right?
I saw you on Fox News, bitch.
But it's different for me, right? Yeah. And so it's like stepping into that and accepting, okay, this is where I'm at. Okay, this is really cool. Yeah. But then there's a push like, okay, now you need TV. Yeah. You know, now you need to be a correspondent on a network. Damn. Maybe you stream your own stuff on a network. Like, so I see in a year, I mean, man, like you said, shit's so hard to predict. But I would really like to see.
What do you want from your gut?
I want a damn show. Something. I want to be a host on a show, man. Okay. Like I think that'd be really freaking cool. I think any type of TV and segueing into not abandoning the Determined Society, but doing other projects like TV, movie, all that kind of stuff.
So reach out to your local news desk and become the correspondent for style and culture there.
That's very a good simple idea. That's very simple.
That's what I did here. You can catch me bi-weekly on the MD Effect on the CW, bitch, WSFL.
Well, they're interviewing me on Tuesday, so that's ABC.
Oh,
locally. Yeah.
Okay. Calm down. Calm down.
Boom. Not national, let's be honest. But
doesn't matter.
It's
pretty
cool.
You got to start the hell somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
You got to start somewhere. Okay, so you have like your vision.
Yeah, and they have, and it's cool because they're doing it because like there's not a lot of people out there doing it like you're doing it.
Correct.
And I'm like, explain it. And it was more of like, it's out of positivity. Like you're really trying to help people. You're not pinning one side against the other side. You're really there for everybody. I'm like, well, yeah, that's. So, I think that's what I see in a year is a lot more of that in a bigger platform. Yes, the show's doing great, but I want to see an up level in the personal brand and really killing it on segments or a correspondent, right? And then that's going to bring, this we're talking about influence, right?
Correct.
That's going to bring more people to the show. So the show will grow.
I think the show is moving itself now. You've got it to a point, and that is also quite difficult, where it's a machine.
Mm-hmm.
Machines need to be oiled.
Yep.
But it's in the flow.
Yeah.
You have flow. So I think going outside that you come at things and I'm like, now's the time, because the more you share of yourself, the more people, I believe you could have the best content in the world. But if I don't rock with you, then it means nothing. Yeah. People rock with me because of a chimpanzee and a dog. And I'm very well aware of that. So I decided, let me add fashion into that. But most people are like, you the guy with that chimp? And I was like, absolutely.
That's
I am.
me,
a
man.
billion fucking impressions later, bitch, you can catch me outside. But I'm using that.
Yeah.
Because it confuses people. Mm-hmm. Chimp, dog. And then he's on TV talking about something that's neither of those.
It's a silo.
But it has brought me an audience, and I've turned 50% of the chimp lovers into Matt Dillon lovers. They don't like fashion. They wouldn't understand what that is. Bless you. Mm-hmm. But that they look at this and they support you because it's me.
Yeah.
So I think now the more you're out there in the community, definitely I can see you networks, but keep building that kind of. Yeah. This has now turned into an educational
Welcome to our seminar.
Welcome to our seminar, bitches. But you're intriguing in that sense, because it's very rare to meet somebody that can go right to number one. You don't have to be number one, by the way.
I don't.
You can sit nicely next to Rogan.
I could chill there, man.
You could sit with, Mel Robbins might come and say hello to you at some point.
Yeah,
I saw her up on that list. I like Mel.
Mel's great.
I like Mel.
This is, I think, the first time we've, been in front of Mel or even Amy Poehler, so that's pretty cool.
It's exceptional. What does that feel like for the family? Because I'm sure there's been moments where your wife's gone like, fuck, bitch, come upstairs. Like, please. Like, you're pissing me off now.
Yeah. She's excited.
Yeah.
Like I said, she's my biggest fan. She's excited. Yeah. She saw that graphic today because I sent it to the team, and she's like...
I got that this morning, and I was like, holy shit, he's coming on Fashionably late, and now I have to, like, be good.
Did you hear the sound, like the lyrics on that story?
No, I'm going to tell you the absolute fucking truth what I did. Here's the truth.
What'd you do?
I went and looked it up myself because I was like, bullshit artist.
Holy shit.
I went and looked it up myself.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I've had stats and things. Not that I thought you were a BS artist. I was like, let me look at it myself. Mm-hmm. And you were actually higher than what you sent me at that point. So you were, I think one that I saw was at 5, and then you went up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to do my due diligence.
You should.
You never know.
You have to.
You never know.
I'm not offended by that shit, man.
No, I wanted to be honest. I was like, let me look. Because that's incredible. You made me fucking nervous, bro. I'm like, God damn. He's driving here. Matt Dillon, the pressure's on, kid.
Yeah, it's in the MD.
Pressure's on. Yeah. So tell me what... You interviewed a lot of people. Tell me the difference between maybe somebody that's not as visible, like an author. They may be, you can be a New York Times best-selling author, but I could walk past you in the street. I never know.
Yep.
What's the difference for you vibe-wise when you're sitting with somebody that is so visible, and then somebody, but across the board, accolades are accolades. Mm-hmm. Tell me what that's like and how you kind of work that as a storyteller.
It's really difficult, right? Because the authors are very intellectual. The authors can be very reserved. They're writers. They're writing all day.
Correct.
And then they're taking a break for 45 to 60 minutes to hang out with my ass. It's like, how do I engage him? It's very simple, because it's easy to talk to a Jamie Kennedy, right? Because you see his body of work. You grew up on his body of work. But then a Brad Meltzer, who's 13-time New York Times bestsellers, I've never met a day in my life, but he's a largely successful author. Amazing. So what do? I read their freaking book, man. Yeah. I read their book. I learn about them. I learn about their writing style. And so for me, I'm able to craft a better interview. I just had John Edward and Bob Hillen on my show.
Wow.
You know John Edward, right?
I do.
Yeah,
yes.
we dropped that yesterday.
Yes, wow.
I think it was yesterday. What day is it today? You don't have to
this
say
is, we'll let you know what day this is.
I always make that mistake. I always make that damn mistake. But like, we dropped it, but I read the book Chasing Evil, and it was about a 30-year cold case freaking journey between the FBI trying to find this guy, John Smith. Like, literally, his name was John Smith. killed both of his wives, and John Edward was the silent source to help him crack the case. And they wrote a book called Chasing Evil. Holy
That's incredible.
shit, man. But I was able to have this amazing conversation with him, and he says, like, dude, I really enjoyed this. You actually knew what you were talking about because you read the freaking book.
Because you cared to do that.
I give a shit.
Because otherwise, why would you bother to get out of bed and talk to people for vanity purposes? No.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people have big names on the show because they want to look important.
That's fine.
Cool. Go for it.
I want big names on my show. I've
had
some big names. But I will always... I feel like where I differentiate, and I look at you, and I was like looking, because when I watched the J, I was like, we all come at things so differently. So each interview would be very different. But I feel like my research with the people that I've had coming on has been because I'm genuinely in admiration of them.
Yep.
Because I've been following you now for probably, just this year. So just 2025. It's fresh, few months.
Yeah.
And when I clicked follow, it was because of the Jay Lerner interview.
Interesting.
And then I saw Jamie, and I was like, damn, this cat.
Yeah.
God damn. But it comes from, as I build, obviously, there's platforms where people come on and do the junkets and what have you. And at this, my core of this is to hear people's stories and to hear like that kind of flip moment where you understand, no, the passion was right. I don't think it was your side project for a little while for reasons, but the universe had that lined up ready to be your lifeblood.
And you have to walk through the door, man. You have to take that chance, right? And I think at some point when people say they don't know, I don't know if I buy it.
I don't buy it because that's where we can rewind right back to fear. If you say, I know, it's perceived perhaps as cocky, but also if you have that much kind of grit and determination to believe in that, it means that you're not scared of failure.
Right.
And that's fucking scary place to be
scary.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's scary because you're stepping into what you feel you were created for.
That's like this.
It's like, what the fuck am
What's
I?
happening?
Like what's going down here, man? Because I truly feel like this is my path. This is what I was created for.
I can guarantee you, we just met in real life now, that this is your path. This
Thank you.
The universe, this was what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Given that there's challenges everywhere.
Sure.
I believe, not just the podcast though, because I believe doing this for me, I could talk anybody. I could sit here for hours and make you laugh and do whatever. But I believe I'm a natural born storyteller. Yeah. And that's why I use the word storyteller for you, because that actually opens up so many different ways that you can have cause and effect with the community that you're in.
Yeah.
Not just your local, but like the globe.
I think the podcast, and it's funny, like my partners may shoot me for this, but don't worry, you guys are all involved.
Sorry, bitches.
It's just like the podcast is the gateway, like to bigger things.
It has to
personally, right? And when I grow more personally, then yes, the Determined Society still wins. But I think that the Determined, okay, I've always wanted to be a fucking actor.
There you go.
I've never been in drama. I've never done anything like that. But I'm like, you know what? One day,
you strike me as the dramatic kind.
Like I'm gonna do it.
You strike me as the dramatic kind.
I think I could be on film and be entertaining. Yeah. And so like, for me, like I never thought of, let me start a podcast so I can get really good at conversation so I could be an actor. But I think it's going to pave the way to where I can be on some things.
I think it's a smart move.
And I really feel like I really want to do it. It's been like this closet dream of mine.
I love that though.
Yeah.
This is the whole.
That's the first time I've said it out loud.
I kind of knew that.
Yeah.
I could say, let's put it out there. Throw that shit out there and let it stick.
Do what you do with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that because this is, for me, storytelling is wonderful.
Yeah.
We can always learn things. I've learned so much from listening to you tape today, but also like listening to your actual conversations. But I do think that the right positioning, that the podcast is just a skeleton, and it should be the skeleton, because your team will roll with you no matter what. Don't worry, team, it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
not leaving.
I just look at life in a different lens, and I'm like, this can't just be it. But if I win, my man over here wins, this bitch behind here wins, even though he hates me half the time. Love you, Mel. Hi, Mel. And I really do believe that we can grow from this, and I think this discussion today is probably a little deeper than I anticipated. It's
good
because it really it's interesting, and I hope that the audience can like really glean that fear is okay and reframing shit is good. as long as you keep the mental perspective of not lying to yourself.
That's a key component.
Speak on that.
That's a key component. Like, you can lie to everybody. You can tell people you're going to do something, and even
that's what a
that
publicist does. It's not lying. It's master crafting.
It's storytelling.
Bitch, you stole mine. I'm fucking trademarking that shit.
I said it on your show. You didn't TM that bitch.
I can't TM storytelling. That's
Zach. That's my point. Fucker. No, I'm kidding. So
get out of here, bitch.
Walk home. I know you don't know your way back.
I'm gonna cut your brake lines.
You don't know the way back to your car. I might not.
Not in this storm either.
Oh,
we're in Miami, guys.
Yeah.
I can row your boat gently up to the stream.
Yeah, it'll flood here quickly.
100%.
No, but to that point of like, shit, where were we? We were talking about
We're talking about not lying to yourself.
Yeah.
And I wanted your take on that.
Yeah, so you can lie to people, man. And I don't condone it. I don't promote it. But a lot of times people may not pick up on your lie. But every single time you lie to yourself. And if you're not being true to yourself, you're chipping away. You're chipping away at your confidence. You're chipping away at your soul.
And when you start to believe your own lies,
you're fucked.
And I can say this is the reality of life. Being in the business where image is everything, sometimes you have to purport something that may not necessarily be the case. But if you lose sight of that, you're fucked. And it's a very hard way to climb back out of that ladder.
Royally.
And you're going to lose everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you're going to lose your mental health.
It could be a reset that's needed. And this is why these discussions and like meeting people and learning those cross points that people hit, those crossroads rather, think that's important for people to take away, that it's like nothing has to be perfect.
Right.
Nothing is perfect. Nothing should be perfect. Perfect is different for everybody. What makes you feel good, and this is why constantly throughout this interview and a lot of things, your gut and why you do what you do, because it brings you something here and what that connects to there, is why I wanted to have you here. Because that's why you're seeing that success. That's why you've been on this journey. Because you do it for altruistic reasons. And I think stay on that path. It's brought you to here. This has been really very interesting to me because sometimes shit can be fluffy, but I appreciate this because even I can take away things and talk about, right now I changed my whole life and I'm just trying to stay ahead. It's one step at a fucking time to keep this ball rolling. To wrap it up and kind of, what's your greatest achievement thus far?
Oh my good God, man.
Doesn't it? I didn't say could be anything.
Yeah. Man.
You got 3 kids and a wife. If you don't say that,
no,
you're screwed.
Is. But there's reasons.
Okay, come on.
So the father I am. I grew up without a father until I was 8 or 9 years old. Like my biological father was nowhere to be found. My mom and him split when they were 2. I saw him a little bit here and there growing up, and then one day I just never saw him again. It was because my mom got married and he felt like I didn't want him around anymore. I was fucking 6, dude. I was not 6. I was like 8 or 9 at that point. It's like, what the fuck?
Your informative years.
I'm a kid.
You're a child.
I'm a kid.
You're a child.
So for me, I've lived my whole life wanting to be a dad and a husband.
I love that.
And I didn't get it right in my first marriage. Like I'm not saying that it was her. I'm saying like there was a multitude of things that were wrong in that picture. And I very rarely even speak about this. And I probably should. But I don't because I don't want to air her out. But we're like close friends now. Like my wife and her are close friends. But I didn't get it right because I wasn't right. Right? I wasn't ready to step into the man that I am now and really kind of understand what it means to be a husband and what it means to be a father. But specifically, I work really hard on giving my children what I feel like, truthfully, I never had, which is open and honesty. Like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I love it. That's my biggest accomplishment.
I think you also worked on through that lesson and what you give to your kids at 6 or 8 or 9, what have you, the concept of not having a masculine figure in your life can bring that vulnerability. So I think you're kind of like the ebb and flow of who you are and what you've created. You just paid homage to your first wife. Like that's in a way, like you said, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was. And I think that's why there's this vulnerability at your core that really makes what you do. You're meant to be doing this, and I feel like that's you can't force that though.
No, and
people
I appreciate
people
it,
try
dude.
to force. No, people I could sit. You could get right downstairs right now and say, "You want to do a podcast?" And sit somebody here. They could be the most entertaining of all. But if there's no like guts there, there'll be no glory.
You know, and I want to clarify. It wasn't. You know, my first wife. You know, she did plenty as well. But you know, the fact of the matter is, I adore her. I love her. You know,
I feel that there.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And it took a lot of years to get there, man.
I'm sure.
But I would step in front of a bus for that one.
Life,
straight up. Like, you know, my wife and her, they connect. They do shit together. You know, she's remarried. I love her husband.
That's kind of crazy.
Their child comes over and stays the night at our house. Yeah. Like, I look at her, I was like, I know she's not, but like that's my kid. Like it's weird. Like our youngest, like me and Jackie have Mia together, our 6-year-old, and Mia's like, oh, that's my sister. Like we're that close. So I said my children was my biggest accomplishment, but I think creating the best blended family I possibly could with my partner, my wife, who worked her ass off to build that because it didn't start that way. I would say that's 1A and 1B. Blended families are tough, but we're fucking crushing the game right now.
That's a beautiful place to end it because quite frankly, I think. So you just undervalued. Yes, you need to talk about that, by the way.
I know.
Way more often.
I know.
See, the more you take your onion layers down,
it's in the book.
The bigger. It's in the book. Bitch, don't give me pre-order fucking.
No, I'm not. Card. I'm just saying I'm right about
do
it in my
now.
book. Yeah, right now.
You need to do it now.
I will.
Because who's going to read the book?
Yeah.
You need
Hopefully
to do it
at least 2 people.
A lot of people, but I'm saying that's a whole market that don't. That whole blended family conversation, that's really unique and different.
Yeah. It is.
Bring that kind of familial to it.
Yeah, it's good advice, man.
Look at that, man. Jesus. Who knew? Thank you for coming.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right.
Much love, dog.
So next time, guys, you know where to find me. Fashionablylatepod.com, at Matt Dillon 1983. Let's do it.